Good evening, you're watching Estuary News. Coming up, we head to Hull to find out about an event to help young people in the region, and we go to Brigg to see what's happening at the train station. And tonight's guest is Jackie Fortune from the Street Angels based in Cleethorpes, and then a bit later I'll be joined by Raj and Susie Gakewood here to talk about their Bollywood evening of dance and song. Welcome to Estuary News. I'm Hugh Riches. Over now for the news headlines.
A Park community group in West Hull tell us they are in desperate need for extra pairs of hands if they are to continue. The Friends of Pickering Park is manned by volunteers that work to improve the area, from installing a sensory garden and a willow tunnel to creating a tranquil space.
We'd love more volunteers. The most that we've got working in the garden there are 3 regulars of us and then 2 others that come when they can. None of us are getting any younger. We're all quite older. We'd like some new blood, some fresh blood, with fresh ideas. You know, we could be becoming a bit stale, and it would be lovely to have more enthusiasm, people, you know, who can give us new ideas. They don't have to dig for 3 hours at a time. Even just someone to sweep the paths would be lovely.
Dolly Parton's official tribute is heading to Grimsby, taking to the spotlight to raise money for the Imagination Library in North East Lincolnshire, which the superstar is a patron of. The branch with the Cleethorpes Rotary Club is holding the fundraising event at the Grimsby Institute on the 11th of November, with all funds being helping children from birth to 5 years old receive 25 free penguin books a year.
You can see Sarah Jane, she's the official Dolly Parton impersonator for Europe, and she sang with Dolly Parton at the O2 2 years ago, and she's singing all over Europe, and she's supporting the Imagination Library also. And on the evening there will be first a singer from the Performing Arts Department from the Institute, then Sarah Jane is coming on for an hour, and then we have an auction with a few items which are Dolly Parton memorabilia, such as signed photos and signed books and a signed cookbook and things like this.
And residents and businesses in Woodall Spa being invited to have their say on proposals that aim to protect the village's heritage. East Lindsey District Council, with the support of the Woodall Spa Parish Council and the Local Heritage Committee, is asking for people's opinions. And that's the latest from the news.
The Police and Crime Commissioner's Office in Humberside recently put £10,000 in funding into a pot to help youngsters in the region. A Dragon's Den-style event was organised by Catch-22 for local groups to pitch for the money. We sent a camera along to capture the day, and Ellie Tuffin, Service Manager for Catch-22, starts by telling us what the event is about.
We are celebrating the work that we do on positive lifestyles, which is funded by the Office of Police and Crime Commissioners, and we're hosting a Dragon's Den event. So we've got £10,000 worth of funding, which is coming from the Crime Commissioner, to invest into local organisations that are supporting young people in their area, whether it's a sports community club or it could be an outreach youth service. So we're looking at organisations that can come and deliver the support work that we do in the community.
We're here to listen to young people. We're here to listen to young people's ideas as to how they think they can improve their lives, and we're going to listen to some of their great ideas for projects in their areas.
We're going to pitch for some money to do an anti-bullying project to try and get children, students, anybody to come along and take part in an anti-bullying campaign, to have a go at doing set design, choreography, acting skills, and then eventually hopefully to put on a performance of what they've been working on throughout the weeks.
I'm here to pitch for some money to run a Twilight football session for 10 to 16-year-olds, where they can all come together, meet new friends, get involved, stay active, and ultimately they're doing something that they're enjoying rather than being on a park board destroying things or, you know, getting up to mischief.
We are part and parcel of Positive Lifestyles, which obviously is funded across the Humberside Police Region by the PCC's office, Police and Crime Commissioner's office, and it's about targeting and working with young people that sometimes are in hard to reach areas across the Humberside Police Region. So we're part of that, the communities team get involved, so it's bridging that gap, engaging with those young people and making positive differences for their lifestyle.
I've been invited to host the event, so it's fantastic for me. I get to travel all over the country and do youth work literally nationwide. I've worked in the local schools before, and to get to come back and host the Dragon's Den event is a real honour and a privilege. The organisations that are coming together are working in partnership to work on some really tough and challenging youth issues that maybe education hasn't been able to solve. There are certain things that don't get taken care of in school, and that perhaps other organisations need to help with, and so it's fantastic to see so many people come together.
We tend to find that a lot of good ideas that young people come up with can be lost, and us as adults are not, we don't have the monopoly on good ideas. And today is a great opportunity to listen to those good ideas coming up from the bottom, coming up from those young people. And that's why I'm excited about today, and that's why I'm really fired up by this. I'm fired up by young people coming forward with their ideas, their drive, their enthusiasm. And guess what? It's contagious. And I'm looking forward to being uplifted by some of these young people today.
I think something like this is key because actually what we're doing is we've invited a lot of organisations that are working with young people across the Humber, and we're inviting them to come and take part and get to know about positive lifestyles a bit more and come and work with us. We know that across the Humber region we have so many great organisations that are working with young people, and what we don't want to do is just duplicate another programme. We're wanting to connect those programmes to work together to better support really good outcomes for young people.
And if there's a story you'd like us to look into, then you can contact the news team either through Facebook or Twitter pages, email news@estuary.tv or call 01472 3155553. Do let us know what's happening in your area. And still to come tonight, we meet Raj and Susie Gakewood, who are here to tell us about their Bollywood extravaganza, and we visit Brigg to see what's happening with their railway station, and we'll have the latest in the local sports news. The Street Angels seem to be a much needed service. They're a group of volunteers who patrol the streets responding to those in need. It's coordinated by Churches Together in North East Lincolnshire, and they've recently received £10,000 in funding. Here to talk about it is Jackie Fortune. Jackie, thank you very much for coming in. First of all, what do the Street Angels do?
We go out onto the streets on Saturday nights between 10 o'clock and 2:30 in the morning. Just really to be there, to be a reassuring presence to folk and to help out if anyone needs our help.
This is in Cleethorpes?
Yes, yeah.
Between 10 o'clock and 2 o'clock in the morning in Cleethorpes, I would imagine that people are getting into trouble for one reason only, and it comes through pumps and bottles.
Mostly, but not all.
Effectively, Street Angels, it's looking after drunks.
Yes, yeah.
People who've had a drink too many on a Saturday night.
Yeah, most.
How busy are you?
Not as busy as we used to be, which is good news, but there's still a need for us out on the streets, and there's never a week that goes by that when we haven't made a difference to somebody.
And so this is people going out for a drink on a Saturday night. There are not as many people going out for a drink, or people drinking more sensibly and not getting into a dreadful state?
Not so many people out, but there does seem to be a change in the culture. Things don't seem to be quite as silly as they were 5 years ago when we started.
And is that just because people are shorter of money than they used to be? They don't have the disposable income to spend on booze?
Mostly, but I do think there's a change in the culture.
Really?
Yeah.
We're growing up a bit?
Maybe.
I speak as a Saturday night drinker, and not that I've ever needed any help, I don't think, but we're getting a bit more sensible.
Yeah.
So what do? You go out, you've got a certain amount of equipment with you?
Yes, we carry rucksacks, and we carry flip-flops for ladies who can't wear their high heels any longer. And
because the ground can be covered in broken glass.
Yes,
you don't want
to. And
worse things, yes.
Yeah. We carry bottles of water, wet wipes, tissues for people who might be a bit poorly, for want of a better word.
Yes.
We carry a small first aid kit and space blankets, so if anyone really is unwell, we can try and keep them warm.
Well, because especially on a winter's night in Cleethorpes, people tend to go out wearing hardly any clothes, don't
Yes,
they?
yeah,
In the middle of January or February or late October, then it's absolutely freezing out there, and of course too much alcohol in your blood reduces your ability to stay warm, doesn't it?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dangerous stuff.
Yeah.
You got some funding. Where did that come from?
We were fortunate enough to be successful in a bid to the Big Lottery, their Awards for All programme. Churches Together applied for this to help so that we can grow the project. We need more volunteers, and we need to be a bit more proactive about advertising and recruiting and just managing our volunteers.
You need more volunteers. How do people get in touch with you if they want to come and help out?
The best way is to email us.
And what's the email?
It's streetangelsnel@gmail.com.
Okay.
Or to phone the City Church office, which is where I'm based, and their number is 01472 240071.
On behalf of the Drunks of Cleethorpes, Jackie, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Stay with us after the break. Coming up, we meet Raj and Susie Gakewood, who are here to tell us about their Bollywood extravaganza, and we'll bring you all the latest in local sports news and results. Welcome back, you're watching Estuary News. Still to come, we go to Brigg to see what's happening at the train station there, and we'll have the latest local sports news and results. The thrill and colour of Bollywood is coming to Cleethorpes. The event is to raise money for children in need, and behind the choreography are husband and wife Raj and Susie Gakewood, and they join me now. Thank you both very much for coming in. Susie, happy birthday.
Oh, thank you so much.
You're looking absolutely wonderful. Is this how you dress every birthday, or is this...
No, just for this advert for this program.
Okay, first of all, it's a Bollywood evening. Where's it happening, Raj?
It's happening in Cleethorpes Memorial Hall on 13th of November. The program starts at 6:30 p.m. Till late, and we have live music. I will be singing, so people wants to hear me. Please come and join us. Then there are dancings, and there is a fashion show with the judges, and also there is an Indian meal taken from local restaurant, which is very reliable and very tasty food. And in the end, people want to stay back and have a disco. They are welcome, and that's the end of the program. And all the money is going to, as I said, the children in need.
It's going to children in need. That's why it's on the 13th. But it's also just immediately after Diwali.
It is. It is. This program is to celebrate Diwali, but when the communities together came and approached us, and we said we could raise this money for children in need, and that's what it is. We're going to celebrate Diwali, but the funds are going towards a good cause.
Well, that's absolutely excellent. Bollywood is enormously influential cinema, isn't it? I mean, it's the Indian cinema generally. We call it Bollywood. It's not all in Bombay, of course, is it, or Mumbai? But it's been tremendously influential on Hollywood, on American and European cinema in the last 10 or 20 years or so.
Yeah, that's right. We have IFIs going around the countries and celebrating the Bollywood in the different countries, and it's well recognized. There are lots of people, mostly in Hollywood, they are impressed by the Bollywood films, and some of them have worked in Bollywood films. So it is influential, and also it's quite, something different than what we do movies down here and in Hollywood. So it's something different. There's music, there's always romantic scenes, a lot of music throughout the film, and it's enjoyable. So the people do go and watch the films, and I think so. We do go, isn't it? It's not in Cleethorpes or Grimsby. We do go to Sheffield and Hull to watch the Bollywood films when they come.
Well, Bollywood is always a spectacle. It's always, the great debate is film storytelling or is it painting? Is it visual or is it narrative? It's definitely a visual spectacle in Bollywood. Do you like dancing, Susie? Do you sing along as well?
I'm exposed to dancing after I married Raj. Raj is a choreographer and he loves music and dance. So it's introduced into the family. Now it's into a hospital where we work. And all our colleagues are dancing now, and the whole town is dancing.
The whole of Grimsby Princess Diana Hospital
That's
is
right.
dancing Bollywood
And,
routines.
Most of our patients are dancing because of Raj.
That's healthy, healthy patients. That's
As a physio, we need to motivate people to exercise.
Yes,
so
I should say you're a physiotherapist.
That's
Raj
right.
is a cardiac matron, cardiac nurse. Just quickly remind us where and when this event's happening again. In fact, I'll show the poster because it looks so beautiful. Friday the 13th at Cleethorpes Memorial Hall, 6:30 p.m. until late, you say?
Yes.
That's
Optimistically there. Or
Yes.
Maybe not pessimistically. Maybe you'll need some help from the angels later on.
Yeah.
And it'll be a fantastic event. Thank you both very much for coming in.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Now, for towns like Brigg, a train station is crucial to the town's tourist industry and in turn to the local economy. The station has been frequently a target of fly tippers and vandals, and the Friends of Brigg and District Railway say a solution is still to be found, as Dave Nunn went to find out.
It looks like any other small town train station, but Brigg Station has been at the centre of controversy following multiple visits by the Friends of Brigg and Lincoln Rail Line.
We're talking about, unfortunately, the serious issue of the station area at Brigg. We have for the last 2 years had an ongoing problem with fly tipping and trespassing, which unfortunately means that obviously when we're getting people to use the train services to come to Brigg, the first thing they see as they come into the town is this mess all the time.
The fly tipping problem has been getting so bad it's been going on for over a year, and there have been objects such as prams found on the tracks, which is obviously creating a danger to travellers.
We've got a situation where we've actually got now over 1.5 years of evidence of fly tipping actually on the site. A couple of weeks ago we had an incident where a large buggy and a group of tyres were actually thrown onto the live railway line, and they actually had to close the line and clear the track. That is incredibly dangerous. Of course, there's a cost to the public because obviously the tracks have to be closed and they've had to remove it. And again, as we said, we're taking a time as an effort, obviously as a rail user group, to bring people into this town. This is not what they want to see.
The problem has arisen due to confusion over whose responsibility it is to clean the line. Northern Rail operate the station, but the Friends of Brigg and Lincoln Line say that North Lincolnshire Council is responsible for the cleaning of the station.
Well, the station area used to belong to the railway, and it went over to North Lincolnshire Council sometime in the mid-1990s. The station area actually can't be redeveloped for housing, but it can be done for commercial use. The problem we've got is obviously it seems to be an area that's out of sight, out of mind. We've actually looked at obviously putting CCTV actually on the station, but Northern Rail, the train operating company, have turned round and rightly said that it's actually the responsibility of the council to look after their area and the tenants that's on that area and to clean up after them.
Neither the council or Northern Rail have commented on the situation, but Paul says the station is giving visitors a bad first impression of the town.
Oh no, I mean, like I said, I'm old school. It's first impressions count, and that's the feedback we do get from customers. They have a great time coming to Brigg, the independent shops, things like that, but the station area really does let the town down.
Joining me now for a quick look at some of the other local news, Erica Barker. Erica, welcome back.
Hello, Hugh. How are you today?
What have you found for me?
OK then, so I'm going to start off with a £45 million development for up to 400 new homes at New Waltham could get the go-ahead. So the plans are for farmland at the junction of Station Road and Louth Road have been recommended for approval by council planning officers.
This is just south of Grimsby, isn't it?
Yes, and this is ahead of a decision that will be made next week. We are thinking now the application is by Monmouth Properties, sorry. They've actually agreed to put nearly £600,000 towards highway improvements if this were to get the go-ahead.
You can't have the houses without the infrastructure, I guess.
Yes, of course. And there has often been, you know, great debate really surrounding the toll bar roundabout and issues there. Now, if this were to get the go-ahead, they would put around £110,000 into improving that roundabout. It's not just properties, they are looking at businesses as well, so business properties would be included within that development, but we'll just have to wait and see what happens with that one, I think.
As ever, we've more people and not enough houses to put them into, so more building is, on the whole, going to be good news.
And it does say, obviously, hundreds of jobs would be created within the construction sector, so that would be good news.
That would be good, yeah. What next?
So this is some statistics that are within the Grimsby Telegraph. Their headline is mortality rate at Grimsby Hospital Trust reaches higher than expected levels. These figures are over a 12-month time period. The figures relate to deaths in hospital in Grimsby, Scunthorpe and Goole, and out of hospital for 30 days after discharge from hospital, so i.e. deaths that could occur under GP care in care homes and other non-related hospital care providers. Quite worrying statistics. In here it does say that Northern Lincolnshire and Goole NHS Foundation Trust Chief Nurse, that is Tara Philby, said patient safety and quality of care is their top priority, and they remain focused on putting their patients' well-being at the heart of everything they do.
Well, I'm sure they do. I've just been talking to two people who work at Princess Diana, and I know they're dedicated, and everybody's got to die sometime. Erica, thank you very much. Time now for the sport.
Steve Bruce has told the official Hull City site that he is delighted to guide the Tigers through to their first ever League Cup quarter-final after a penalty shootout against Leicester City. At the KC Stadium last night, the team came from behind in extra time to take the game to penalties after a 1-1 draw. The Tigers triumphed 5-4 on spot kicks. Elsewhere, new signing Ryan Shaw has told Hull KR he's looking forward to playing alongside Albert Kelly and Terry Campese next season after penning a 2-year contract with the Robins. The 23-year-old from Bradford Bulls and the former England Academy international will join his new teammates for pre-season training next month, saying it's a big attraction for him to come across and play alongside them. And as the Hull FC squad also gets set to get back to training, head coach Lee Radford has told HullFC.com the upcoming pre-season is crucial for the development of the Black and White's young stars. They say a number of academy players made their mark towards the back of the 2015 campaign. FC's young talent will be competing for places with experienced new signings such as Frank Pritchard, Sika Manu and Scott Taylor, who Redford hopes can also aid their development. And tonight's scheduled final third East Division fixture against Doncaster Rovers for Grimsby Town Reserves has been postponed. The Mariners' second string have kicked off a campaign with 2 defeats and a win. And that's all from the sport.
That's it for tonight. If you have a news story, then please visit our Facebook or Twitter pages, email news@estuary.tv or telephone Grimsby 01472 31 55553. Until tomorrow, good evening.
Estuary TV weather, sponsored by Rix Petroleum, your local family-owned heating oil supplier this winter.
Hello and welcome to Estuary TV's weather. Thursday will be cloudy with further rain spreading across parts of the region during the morning, clearing later in the afternoon with maximum temperatures of 14 degrees. Friday will be mild and often breezy throughout the day.
Rix, servicing the region's oil boilers this winter from a name you can trust. Get in touch at rix.co.uk or call us on 01482 838383.